let's go look around.
Huh?
So, Hina, where could 2 dead bodies have disappeared to?
Damn.
We need to search for the bodies that have disappeared. What happens after that? Huh? The door must be locked. Okay. What about the rec room? Celeste, she's really attacked with Justice Hammer 1, but what the heck is with this thing? Okay, so what was I supposed to do? I think I'm supposed to look for the bodies, right? Yeah, so I'm trying to look for the dead bodies. And they're not there. Let's go to the second floor. Oh wait, no, the classrooms. How about the classrooms? Nope. Oh, Celeste, what the hell? Kodo.
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh? You mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Haifumi and Taka's bodies had both been hidden in the repository. I've already told Hina and Sakura. We'll go on ahead. Bodies were in the repository? Oh, whoops. Wait, so... Wait, what is a repository, actually? Are the bodies here somewhere? I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. Yeah, here, right? It was just locked. Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. Guess it's unlocked. Then I have no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door. And when I entered, I saw... two bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for a second time.
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
And so here we are.
It's the Monokuma file!
Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to go ahead and hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen.
What?
It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Just hand it over already.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Now make sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later!
Well then, Now that we found the bodies, all that's left to do is uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
That's terrible.
Dead. Gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. It's just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Haifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why? Why?
Large white tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed onto Haifumi's cheeks. This were some world of make-believe that might have been when Haifumi opened his eyes. But this was in a movie. This wasn't.
He's alive again? Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Hifumi! Wake up!
Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Hiro.
His eyes closed. They never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins? No calcium in your bones? At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
Or just angry. Yeah, his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagashikure. That is the only person he would have been referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Haifumi? Then going so far as to hide their bodies? A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers? Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
It's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends?
That's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our life or death game here. Although, this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it looks that way. It's going to begin again. You have to go through this one more time? I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. Just have to do it. First, I'd better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Haifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. Cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Something else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? Pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. Just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder,
Phew.
only one blackened can graduate, and an accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that's the killing, right? Just like normal?
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised a murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened, so just one person?
Well now,
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened, and accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
however,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible, but for the time being, I suppose it couldn't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect just in case? Talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack?
what?
I'm offended. Yeah, when did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found.
You SOB!
Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl?
Huh?
Milk sack?
You gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me, and when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. You don't call me a murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, it'd totally be useless on the investigation anyway.
it's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange, and all but one of us has an alibi. Figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? You would think, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Okuma File 3 has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Alright. The victims are Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it? That is not useful. Okay, so I guess we're in investigation mode. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died with a blow to the head, found just as Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Hifumi's big. Could cold bodies laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it? How the hell? It's no good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was a blow to the head, probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Oh wait, something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. Now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? Who would do that, and why?
So,
Hey, Kato, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's body disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but
And we came right to the repository to, you know, look around. And when we got here, the repository was locked. Yeah, I know. I tried that. We couldn't get inside. Yeah, it was locked. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in here, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. Oh, I have a choice? Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Nina, Kyoko, you, and myself. So we're all innocent. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up. So we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock we began our search, and soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina's found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the pictures Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. Also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Kyoko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. Found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor, took him to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, and resumed our search, but not long after leaving the nurse's office, saw a shadow. Something's moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claim, we went back up to the second floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the third floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way up to this third floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. Saw him, strange caution man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. He was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hall and disappeared. To where though? Like, it leads nowhere. The fourth floor is locked. If you had the stairs blocked, then couldn't have gone anywhere besides the physics room or the rec room or classroom. Then came from the downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. It's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on. We have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursue the suspect up on the third floor. When we go back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. We left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the third floor to tell the others what happened.
However,
At the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. But I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? You, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted, and as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran to Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body had disappeared. Hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was, in fact, gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are you hallucinating all this or something? This time Taka's body had disappeared. So from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies, and after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed back to the repository. Then there we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now. Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back on the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. It's a dolly. It doesn't have any handles. Have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Oh, but wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Repository dolly has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any other way to lock it from in the art room. Door can be only locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside there, so the killer was inside. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and unlocked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims there was no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone
So then...
Yaokio, do you think Kira really did it?
Hmm.
I don't see anyone could think otherwise. I don't know how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi, and the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So in other words...
But there is no room to suspect anyone. Then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no. There are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Then again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rule says is if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? And if you're the killer, you remember your number 1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps I see what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Oh yeah, the freaking hammers. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Could the Justice hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers that here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait, for some reason this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First, the nurse's office, where Ifumi was found, the equipment room, where Taka was found. I don't think anything happened in here. Alright, let's see, what do we got? Okay, Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka, the body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could the blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. And even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the first floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get it up to the third floor. It's still a total mystery. Sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away.
What?
Super pissed I missed such an ultimate rare event. Oh, there's a tarp. Oh, this tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too.